Hey YouTube, I'm Jess. Welcome to a new video. For today's video, we are gonna film some bridal makeup. I'm gonna film a couple of these videos, but for this one, we're gonna go more on the soft, natural side of things. I'm gonna experiment with a couple of different looks. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the future bridal looks that will be coming out over the next few months. And let's get started with the video.
There's no one I'd rather see close to me. That's all I need. If I could stay, then I will stay.
Okay guys, so I'm debating whether or not I'm gonna do my own makeup for my wedding day. I got engaged in November 2020, so there has pretty much been no planning going on. There's just no point in planning anything right now because everything is so uncertain in terms of what we'll be able to do, where we'll be able to do it. One of the most important parts about doing your makeup and having it look nice is prep. So skin prep is so hugely important for makeup. I've already gone in with my skincare and I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and massage it in. If you guys want a video specifically about how to prep your skin for a wedding or a special event, then let me know in the comments down below and I can make that video for you. I just don't want this video to be super long, and I feel like if I went through everything that I do for skin prep, this video would be a million years. So if you guys are new to my channel or you don't watch my vlogs, then you won't know that I am actually a professional makeup artist, and majority of the work that I do, especially at this time of year, is wedding makeup. So I've done a lot of bridesmaids, mothers of the brides. When I first started doing makeup, I would always start with foundation and then move on to the eyes. But I started working with this bridal company a couple of years ago, and one of the requirements for them was to start with the eyes and then do the face afterwards. And once I started doing that, I got addicted to it, and they were so right. It just makes for a much cleaner look with your makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my eye makeup, and I am going to start off by priming the area. So I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and I'm just going to apply this on my eyelids to help even out the skin tone in that area. I'm using a color of concealer that is close to my skin tone. I don't need it to be super bright, I just want it to even everything out. We don't want our makeup to move, we don't want it to go anywhere, we want it to be really nice and long wearing, so we definitely want to use an eyeshadow primer. This is from Urban Decay, this is the Primer Potion. This works perfectly fine. It's not my favorite eyeshadow primer, but anything will do. This is probably one of the most used items in my bridal makeup kit. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize Cream Eyeshadow in the color Champagne. This just screams bride to me. I'm gonna take this on a fluffy brush, and we're gonna use this as a base for the rest of our eyeshadows to go over top. The color is just perfect for weddings because it's so nice and brightening, and it gives a really nice multi-dimensional impact to the eyelid without being super in your face and obvious. It's just that beautiful wash of a champagne color, not too much shimmer or sparkle, but a really nice shine to it. Any brighter, lighter eyeshadows that you put on top are just really gonna pop with this underneath. If you guys wanna check out any of the products that I talk about in this video, I'm gonna have links in the description box down below. Okay, so I've got the cream shadow down as a base, and I'm gonna go in with some powder shadows now. So I'm gonna use two different palettes for my eye look today. They're both from Charlotte Tilbury. There's gonna be a lot of Charlotte Tilbury in this video. She just does like the perfect wedding makeup. I'm gonna use these two palettes right here. So this is Pillow Talk and this is Exaggerize. Either of these palettes on their own also make really great palettes for bridal looks. So if you don't want to pick them both up, you can just kind of choose which one you like best. This is Pillow Talk. See, it has a little bit more pink tones to it. And then Exaggerize is more neutrally browns, a little bit on the warmer side. This is the most used powder eyeshadow palette in my bridal makeup kit by far. So what I'm gonna do is take the Enhance shade from the Exaggerize palette as well as the Enhance shade from the Pillow Talk palette. I'm gonna mix them both together on a fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna really slowly start working those into the crease. So I'm starting on the outer corner of my eye and using circular motions, just blending that all the way across the lid. coming right into the inner corner on the other side here. And then we're gonna do windscreen wiper motions back and forth to blend out that product. Same thing on the other side. Dipping back into both of those two shades, I'm now going to take them on the outer corner of my eye, right down to my lash line, and then kind of pull them out and up so that I get sort of this nice flick going upwards on the outer corner here. Okay, so I'm feeling like I want to kind of deepen up my eyes a little bit, but I want to do really soft and natural in today's video. So I'm going to stop there, but I am going to go into the Exaggerize palette here, into the pop shade. So the pop shades in the Charlotte Tilbury palettes are meant to be applied with your finger, and add that to the inner corner of my eye and bring it about halfway across my lid. And I'm going to just dip in a couple times and just really build up that sparkle and shimmer, because I want my eyes to glitter and glow on my wedding day. Glitter is definitely happening. I love it in low light, so as we progress into the evening, I just want my eyes to really be super glittery. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm gonna take my Maybelline gel liner in the color brown. I'm definitely going to wing out my eyeliner. Winged eyeliner is my jam. So let me do that real quick here. Okay, so the wings ended up a bit more dramatic than I meant to do them, but honestly, I do like a bigger wing on myself anyways, so it's fine. We're gonna stick with them. I'm gonna move on to skin now, and so the reason we do the eyes first is so that we can clean up the skin underneath the eyes once we go into our complexion. So I'm just gonna take a little cotton round and some micellar water, and I'm just gonna come in underneath here and just clean up everything so that we're working with a super fresh base. So I have some darkness under my eyes that I want to take care of, so I'm going to go in with my Becca color corrector on my beauty blender and just go ahead and apply that to my under eye area, keeping a really light layer of this. I don't want it to be too thick, because I've found that if I use too much of this product, it starts to crease. So less is more. We're not trying to conceal everything. We're just trying to kind of add an extra layer of brightener for underneath the concealer to just give it a little bit of a helping hand. Okay, and then before I go in with my under eye concealer, I'm gonna do foundation. So I'm debating on which foundation I'm gonna use for my wedding. I'm pretty much deciding between two different ones: the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation or the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This is extremely full coverage, looks amazing in photos, and is super long wearing. However, it's a lot. So I'm gonna save this for my like more glam bridal makeup look, and for today I'm gonna use Magic Foundation. So this one is in shade number 7. I have a pretty good tan going on at the moment. Magic Foundation is a medium to full coverage foundation with a demi matte finish. It's not super glowy, it's not super matte. It has hyaluronic filling spheres in it, which means it pulls moisture from the air throughout the day. And something about that just makes the foundation look better and better and better the longer you wear it. The longer you have this foundation on, like when you wear this for a full day and you go into the bathroom at night to wash off your makeup and you look in the mirror, like your skin just looks incredible at the end of the day. I feel like this shade is looking a little dark compared to my neck. I'm definitely gonna have to bring it down, but I'm afraid about my white shirt. I like it because it's a medium coverage, but it's buildable to full. So I have more acne prone skin. It's possible that I'll have breakouts on my wedding day. I also have acne scarring and discoloration. So this is perfect because I can do a light layer of the foundation all over to help even out my skin tone, just make everything look really nice and smooth and beautiful. And then I can go in the areas where I need extra coverage and just build it up specifically in those areas, which for me is on my cheeks here. That way I'm building up the coverage just in the areas where I need it, and I don't have a super heavy layer of foundation all over. It's just a little bit more full in the places where I need it to be. So if you're like me and you wear a lot of sunscreen on your face and your neck but not on your body, you want to match your foundation to your body. Because my neck is so much lighter, I just want to make sure to bring it right down my neck so that everything is really seamless. You're going to want to be careful with this depending on the neckline of your dress. If you have a high neckline on your dress, maybe just avoid this altogether. Just make sure you bring it underneath your jaw draw onto this part of your neck here, but don't bring it all the way down. If you have more of an open neck situation, you can bring it all the way right down. I'm gonna do kind of something in between. I'm not gonna come all the way down because of the white high neck. All right, finally, let's conceal these under eyes. So for concealer today, I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Light Capturing Self-Setting Concealer. I've really been enjoying this because of how lightweight and dewy it is. I feel like it goes so nicely over top of that color corrector under my eye because it's not too much product under there. And because this is a little bit of a lighter tone, I don't want it to be just bright underneath my eyes. So we need to create balance in the rest of the face. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this to my chin and the center of my forehead as well. And I'm gonna blend that out with my sponge. Now we need to set all of these creams with some powder. So I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. This is the most amazing pressed powder. Definitely something to pick up and bring with you on your wedding day so that you can just touch up and make everything look nice and flawless and airbrush throughout the night if you have any like oil or anything that starts to come through. But I'm gonna take this in shade number 1 to start. I'm gonna just set the areas first where I put concealer down. And then because my skin is a little bit more tanned right now, I am going to switch to shade number 2, which I just have in a separate pan here. And I'm gonna use this to set the rest of my face. So when I do my makeup on like a day-to-day basis, I only set the areas where I put concealer because I like my natural oils to come through and to have everything look nice and glowy. But for long wear makeup, like if I want my makeup to last for a long time, or like if I'm going out at night, like if I'm going clubbing or something, I will definitely set my whole face. And it does really just make everything look super airbrushed, and yeah, I love it. So let's go ahead and finish off these eyes before we finish the face. So I'm gonna go back into the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette here, and I'm gonna take the pink shade again, same one that I used on the top. And I'm gonna run that along my lower lash line. So starting at the outer corner and then dragging it into the inner corner. See, like it's pink, but it's not in your face Barbie pink. It just has like that pink soft vibe to it. It's really just the perfect pink for brides, honestly. Okay, and then I do just want to deepen up that lower lash line a little bit. So I'm gonna come into the Exaggerize palette again and take the smoke shade, which is this darker brown, and just add that right to the very outer corner here. Lastly, I'm gonna do mascara and lashes. So I always use waterproof mascara on my bridal parties just because like there will be tears, and I definitely will use waterproof mascara on myself for my wedding, but I just don't have any on me right now. So I'm just gonna go in with my regular mascara and then pop on a pair of lashes. I'm gonna use the Ardell Wispies. Ardell Wispies are a great natural looking lash that have nice oomph to them but still look natural. So let me go do that and I will be right back. Okay, lashes and mascara are on. I highly recommend false lashes for you for your wedding day. The difference that they make for photos is astronomical. They make a huge difference. They complete your look. They're just it. So if you're doing your own wedding makeup and you're not used to applying lashes, you don't know how to do it, what I would suggest doing is just buying a 5-pack from Walmart or Rexall or wherever. They're pretty cheap. Like you can get a pack of 5 for like less than $20. And just practice when you're going out for dinner, when you have your events leading up to your wedding, just practice putting on the false lashes. The more you do it, the better you get. It's kind of tricky at first, but it becomes easier the more that you do it. I just remembered an instructional video for applying lashes. So I'm gonna link that across the top here and in the description box as well. So you can go and watch that video if you need help actually applying false lashes. But yeah, highly recommend. Okay, so we're almost finished with the eyes. The last thing that I'm going to do is add a little bit more liner to the inside of my eyes. So I'm still using brown eyeliner. I'm just switching to a kohl liner. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. These are pretty nice and long wearing inside the eye. I'm gonna take this and line inside my waterline, so inside my eye on the bottom and on the top as well. So doing that step really kind of intensifies the look. If you feel like that's too much for you, don't do brown, just do a nude or a white on the lower lash line, and that will keep everything looking nice and bright and fresh and like wide awake and wide-eyed. For me, even though this is a more natural makeup, I wanted to have sort of that sultry feel to it, and lining inside is really where that comes from for me. It's really important to do it on the top and the bottom. Lining inside on the top underneath your lashes here just really helps to disguise that lash band, and yeah, it just makes everything look really complete. Okay, and then the eyes are done, besides a little bit of highlighter, which we'll do once we get to highlighting. Let's go ahead and finish the face. So these bangs are here now, but they won't be for my wedding, I don't think. I got them now so that they would have time to grow out by the time I actually get married. Often for people with bangs like this, if they're gonna be down for the whole night, I might put a little bit of powder bronzer underneath, but I won't really focus on the forehead too much. However, just because I know most people don't have bangs like that, I'm gonna just kind of pull them out of the way here for a second, and we're gonna do a little bit of cream contour. So for cream contour today, I'm gonna use the Hollywood Contour Wand by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the perfect color. It's so easy to use, really beginner friendly. You can't put on too much, and if you do, you can just buff it away into the skin. I'm opening up a fresh one here because I recently finished one up. You just twist it to open, squeeze a little bit of product. How freaking nice does that look in that white cap? Ooh, it's so good. Squeeze a little bit into the cap. I always lock it again right away so that I don't forget, and then I don't have product like exploding. And I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little bit of this around the perimeter of my forehead. Depending on the shape of your face, you might want to do more or less of this. If you have a larger forehead, you might want to do a little bit more. If you have a really small forehead, you might want to skip this step completely. But for most people, just a little bit right around the temple there will work. And then I'm gonna just take this and do a contour on my cheeks as well. I'm also gonna take this underneath my jaw and down the sides of my nose. I do really just love this product. I'm using the fair medium shade, by the way. I'm gonna come in here and just start blending this out with my sponge. Now, something to keep in mind is that my face is already set, and typically you wouldn't want to put creams on top of powders. However, these Charlotte Tilbury products are actually made to work over top of powder, so they blend in perfectly after I've already set my face. If you are gonna cream contour but you don't have the Charlotte Tilbury product, this is a step that you might want to do before you powder your face. So before I went in and set everything with the Airbrush Flawless finishing powder, and then I always just switch to a brush for underneath my jaw because it's quicker and easier. This is the Hollywood complexion brush. It's actually made specifically to use with this product. I will link this down below as well. I really like it because it's double-sided, so I can use the big side for like the big parts of my face and then switch it over to this little one and use this to blend out the nose contour. The brush is like, I swear, perfect. It's like the perfect size and shape for this part. Now we want to set that with a powder bronzer. This is the Dior Nude Air 001 bronzer. I think this is discontinued, but I'm choosing this one because it's a little bit of a warmer shade. So the contour is a little bit more on the cool tone side, although that contour from Charlotte is not super ashy or anything. Just to kind of like warm things up a bit, I'm going to go in with this little bit more warm tone bronzer and just set that cream and intensify the look while adding warmth at the same time. I like to pat my bronzer, especially on my cheeks, because if I swipe, then I'm gonna start moving the cream products from underneath around, and I'm gonna lose a lot of the coverage from my foundation. So often on my cheeks with my bronzer, I just pat it in, and then I can really lightly do circular motions after the product's down. But yeah, mostly I'm patting, and then I'm gonna bring this onto my neck as well. Okay, so I'm really undecided about what I want to do with my brows for my wedding. I was thinking about it before I started filming this video, and all I've been doing these days is using brow gel in them, and I've just really been liking that look. So I think for the more natural look, that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna fill them in with a pencil or a pen or anything. I'm just gonna use a little bit of tinted brow gel. So this is from Glossier. This is in the color brown. This is their boy brow. I already have pretty nice thick brows, so the brow gel just really, I don't know, it does it for me. Depending what you have going on with your own brows, you may want to do this differently, I would recommend just doing them the way you normally do your brows. Okay, so coming back down onto the cheeks, we need a little bit of highlighter, and I'm quite sure I'm gonna use this on my wedding day. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light wand in the color Spotlight. I love this for photography. I love this for an evening look. It's just so reflective. It looks so wet. It's stunning, and it really has like a high impact. So I'm gonna go ahead with this. I'm gonna add this to the high points of my face, so tops of my cheekbones. I'm gonna put a little bit on the tip of my nose, my Cupid's bow. I would normally add a little bit above my brows as well, but like I said, can't see anything underneath that hair there anyways, so I'm gonna skip it. But if you don't have your bangs hair like this, you can add a little bit just above your eyebrows. And then I'm gonna blend that in with my finger. And I'm just using my finger because the warmth of my finger works really nicely with this product, especially since we're putting it over top of powder. I find the contour ones work a little bit better over top of powder than the highlighter, although obviously this still does work over top of powder, but just the warmth from my finger helps it blend in nicely. And I have a little bit more control as well. If I used a sponge, the highlighter would just kind of end up all over the place. Okay, and then I just want to highlight the inner corner of my eyes as well. I'm not going to use cream for that. Powder works much better. So I'm going to I'm going to come into this Carly Bible palette here, and this is my favorite powder highlighter, this one right here. Just use whatever highlighter you have. If you have one of the Charlotte Tilbury palettes, you can just use the prime shade as well, the lightest shade in the palette. I can't find the little tiny brush that I usually use, so I'm just going in with this random ABH brush that's like maybe a little bit too big. Hopefully I don't make a big mess. I'm just gonna take that and apply that right to the very inner corner of my eye, onto the tear duct area here. I just like to kind of blend it up a bit as well. Okay, I always like to do lips before blush because once the lips are on, I can see how much color I need. So my eyes have this pinky brown feel, and I'm like very into monochrome. I don't know, I just like to match my makeup. So the lipstick that I'm gonna use today is this one right here from Charlotte Tilbury. This is called Stoned Rose. What it looks like there. It's kind of a nude with a pinky brown feel. It's got a little bit of warmth to it. It's a little bit on the orangey side. I just find that very complimentary on my skin tone. It's one of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. And because my makeup on my eyes is a little bit on the softer side, I can get away with a little bit more color on my lips. Whereas I think for when I do my more full glam bridal look, things will be very like dark, smoky. There will be a lot going on the eyes. And so in that instance, I think I'll want to do more of like a creamy nude lip. I am, of course, going to start with lip liner. This is Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the most used lip liner in my kit by far. It just is designed to mimic the color of your lips, so it works with so many different lipsticks. And because it's so natural, it is great for overlining as well. Okay, so I have this shape down on the outside of my lips, and then I'm just gonna take the liner and fill in my lips completely. It's just gonna give the lipstick a little bit more of a pink feel, but it's also gonna help the lipstick stay on longer because it has something to stick to. And once the lipstick starts to fade, this lip liner will be underneath, so it's not as obvious that my lipstick is fading, if that makes sense. And then we'll go right in with Stoned Rose. I live for this shade. I do, however, want to pop on a little bit of lip gloss. I would probably use the clear lip gloss from Glossier, but I don't have one right now. I ran out recently. So I'm just going to take this one from Charlotte. This is Blondie. It's basically just kind of peachy and shimmery. It'll match. And I'm just adding that to the center. I don't want it to be like super glossy all over the place. That'll just make everything a mess. And then finally we can go in with our blush. The blush that I'm going to use today is Ecstasy from Charlotte Tilbury. You guys know I'm obsessed with cream blushes right now, but for a long wear situation, I feel like powder is just going to be the way to go. This has sort of a peachy pink feel to it, which is just going to complement the lip really nicely. It's going to complement the eyes really nicely. I just think Ecstasy is a super flattering color on me. It's super flattering on most people, honestly. And then last but not least, a super important step for your bridal makeup routine is setting spray. The one I recommend is from Urban Decay, the All Nighter. It's just gonna help your makeup stay on really nice and long. It really, really does work to extend the longevity of your makeup. It also takes all of this powder and just helps to kind of melt it into your skin. So it just makes everything look better as well. And don't be afraid to really like douse yourself in it. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. This is the first option for my wedding makeup look, the more natural one. I'm gonna come in closer so you guys can see.
There's no place I'd rather be.
You can definitely see a little bit of lash glue on the inner corner here. It was starting to pop off, so I just threw on a little bit more glue before I started filming this part of the video, but that would like completely dry and you wouldn't see it, but I'm too lazy to wait for it. So I will say as well, this is natural makeup for me. This might not be natural makeup for you. You can totally customize this video and take the bits and pieces from it that you want to create your own custom perfect wedding makeup look. Don't forget I have all of the products linked in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.